I didn't choose the day that Henry flew away. I don't think Henry chose the day he flew away. I'm not going to say that he didn't know it was coming at some point, because obviously he had issues. He was maintaining. God was good to us. Normally, in any type of procedure, I would have a family member with me, but because it was supposed to be in and out an hour and a half, no biggie. We knew, he would be put in some twilight sleep for the incision, etc. And he's done that kind of thing before. So there was no sign that this was a bad idea. Henry did say one thing to me in the waiting room that kind of surprised me. He used a word he never uses. We prayed together, and it was concerning fear, which he never has. And I said, we can leave. We don't have to do this today if you don't feel right about it. He says, no, I got to have this done. So we're going to do this. I said, are you sure? I'm sure. Okay. As soon as he was, they put him in the twilight sleep, whatever that stuff is, that's when he left. His heart just stopped. His pulse did. It stopped. I got to go in and talk with him, like I mentioned maybe at the memorial. I don't know what I said there. I got to talk with him. Of course, they were working on him, and I didn't care about all that mess. And I spoke with him, and I don't know if he was really, I don't know what happened, so I can't say. I don't know if his spirit man was still in his body or if it was right there. I don't know if he was in the process. I don't know. But I know this. I know he heard me. I had that witness. He heard me. And I did everything I'm supposed to do as a believer. Rebuke the spirit of death, command fear to go, begged him to stay, all the things that you would normally do. I did all that, heartfelt, did it. But the last word I said to him, the last two words, nevertheless, I trust God, and I am never alone. And as soon as I walked out the room, he was gone. So I'm just saying, this is what I want to tell you what really happens now. I didn't have family members with me. I had two precious ladies, a chaplain. As soon as I saw the chaplain, I knew I was in trouble. Hello, I've been to the hospital myself. I know what this looks like. The chaplain, I'm having a hard time believing that this is happening. So I'm saying, this can't be happening. This seriously can't be happening. What is going on? And then I would say, but I trust God. Never mind, I trust God. I can't believe this is happening. They would come and she'd hold me. She'd say all the things I would say to them. If I was in switch places, I've said all those things. In fact, at one time I even looked at her and started laughing. And she said, why are you laughing? I said, because you're saying to me all the things I say to other people, and guess what? It's working. You're doing a great job. I always wondered if it worked, if what I was saying, no, because you're not in that position. And I said, thank you. It really is working. You're doing a great job. And to me, I was thinking, hey, I did a great job too. So I had that moment of just, whew, there it was. So then she looks at me and she goes, well, do you have a pastor or somebody you can call? I started laughing again. I said, we are the pastors. And she goes, oh, no. I said, no, we have other pastors too. We're not the only ones. But anyway, so this whole thing was just like this crazy place that people wouldn't understand unless you're in it. I've never been in it, so I had no idea how to navigate it, except for this. I trust God. And so every wave that would come, because they come in, we got him stable. Oh, we don't have him stable. We got him stable. Oh, we don't have him stable. So I was riding this roller coaster. And finally, when they said, you better come see him now, I knew, okay. But at that moment that I knew for sure that this was going way south, and I had one chance, and that's to go in there and raise him from the dead, and I did with all my heart. I don't care who heard, doesn't make any difference. My body started to go into shock. My body, I couldn't move my legs, and they had to put these lead things on me so I could go into the room, and I'm telling you, if you've ever been to the dentist, I had the throat, the thing, all the way down to here, lead. And I can't walk because my legs are now jello. And I'm going, I don't know why, but I can't walk. And they said, you're going to shock, drink this water. They're giving me this water, take a bite of this, do this, because I was going into shock. But at the whole time, I never lost my peace. So I'm going, why is my body going through all this stuff when I trust God? I don't like this, but my body had been trained by my thinking. And the thinking was, death is bad. Henry dying is not good. So this is bad. And so, because whenever he would want to talk about the eventuality of possibility, I would say, I don't want to talk about that. Okay, he says, we have to talk about it. So we did talk about it, but it's still bad. Okay, it was bad. So my body was trained that this is bad. And so regardless of what my spirit man was saying, I'm in peace, I trust God, and I really was. I'm telling you, I told you about Trinidad and how it was there for me then too. It's now. It's not gone away. It's there. And do I freak out every moment? I mean, every other moment? Not maybe, but I still have peace. Okay? I know that sounds like it's just really posed, but it's not. But my body went into shock. And I didn't have enough anything going on except for just, I wanted to see my husband. I didn't even go, body, get in line. I didn't do all the stuff, hey, stop that right now. I didn't do that. I was wanting to get in there with him. So they're literally almost having to carry me down this long corridor with this lead thing on me because my legs are not working. My body was feeling something I was not. I was in peace because I trusted God. I trusted God the morning we left. I trusted God a week ago. I trusted God 2 years ago. I trusted God yesterday. I trusted God. So it wasn't a new concept to me to trust God that day. Hear me. Hear me. Because of what this word said about times and seasons, these things are going to come. Unless you're dead. These things are going to come. So you need to learn to really understand. And I'll tell you what, I thought I trusted God before. I really thought I did. And I did. But I found out that day I really did. I really do. I trust him. And not only that, God trusted me. Because the day of Henry's flying away, and he trusted you, the day of Henry's flying away marked a change. Henry imparted, his time was up. His impartation was over. In fact, he would say things in the service, and I go, oh, I hope that's not one of those things that's marking the end. But somewhere in me, I kind of knew. So his time is over. I'm telling you what, there was no victimization in his death whatsoever. He went to sleep, and that was it. Thank God. I never once had the feeling that the enemy was involved at all. The anesthesiologist was she was baffled. She was devastated. So was the doctor. Because they're supposed to just be this is not something they do. I had to minister to the both of them. Because they couldn't believe that this has happened. And I said, it was his time. Just take your peace in this. I'm sorry. And she said, I'm telling you, I gave him exactly what he's supposed to. I said, I'm not doubting in that at all. And I hugged her, and she cried. And she said, and he was such a nice guy. And I go, he is a nice guy. And he kids around with, yes, he kids around with us. That's what he does. You're right. But because I trusted God and I had the peace of God, I could minister to her in the middle of my own stuff. Because what happened and is happening still is I felt a physical severing of my heart. I felt it. That's what that tearing, retching feeling was. I felt it, the pain of it. And that pain doesn't go away overnight. If it does, you haven't loved, I wanted to tell you that story because your bodies lie to you. Feelings lie to you. The feelings I was having as I was in shock were not the feelings of my spirit. Was not the feelings of my trust in God. It was not the feelings, the peace that I had even in the midst of my body doing crazy things. I didn't have the time or the withal to rebuke what was going on in my body because I was in the moment of what things were happening. You've got to understand that the enemy can make you feel so many things that are really not real. They're really not real. But we had so many, most of mankind is led by their feelings. If it feels good, do it. If it doesn't feel good, don't do it. I feel loved. I don't feel loved. It just, love is just is. God is love. You trust God, you got it. But so many people want to plug their feelings into something. And I'm telling you, when it talks about in the Word that you're supposed to glory in your tribulations, there's a reason for that. Because everything that happens to you, if you're really trusting God and you're yielding in Him, that's going to add something to your character, your spirit man that is a part of God. That's God's character being deposited, reforming. If you want to use the chisel analogy, that He's chiseling old stuff away to get Him to come out, however you want to look at it. Every moment of your life is not insignificant. We're supposed to glory in tribulations. Whew, was I thrilled that my husband just passed away? Absolutely not. Was I mad at God? Nope. Was I mad at Henry? Nope. It wasn't my decision. How God decides to take you along your journey is really His decision. Now you can go disobedient trail and go way out here. That's your decision. Or you can just keep on the steady, plodding, dealing with life the way you're supposed to. And when you get done, you get to hear, "Well done, my great, good and faithful servant." I have no doubt that's exactly what Henry will hear or heard. I don't know.